ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Awkward Question Time. Please welcome your host, Alex Leam.
Good evening and welcome to Awkward Question Time with me, Alex Leam, the show where we take a panel of comedians and subject them to an hour's worth of increasingly awkward and stupid questions. And might I add, this week, we're also as heard on BBC Radio Derby. We're not live now. Oh, dear God, no. There'll be uproar. No, we were mentioned earlier on this week, thanks to George, who's on later. Happy coincidence. But if you are watching tonight because you heard us on Radio Derby, then let us know. You know, we're playing in the big medium leagues now. So it'll be a nice day from you if you're here because of that. It'd be great. So mention that in the comments. And if you are watching us live, then submit your questions for the panel in the comments as well. More cringe, the better. Please, and answer along with us. And also give us a share, retweet, or subscribe to us on YouTube. If you're on one of those channels and you want to go and have a look at one of the other channels, by all means, my Facebook page is at Alex Leam Stand Up. Follow me on Twitter at Alex Leam and search for Alex Leam on YouTube. If you're not watching us live, so if you're not watching at 8:30 on the 15th of November and you're watching the replay, then let us know where and what time you're watching. I'm genuinely interested, but do also join us live on Sunday nights. And also, something that's been happening over recent weeks, I really love to see when people show it. Are you watching us on a proper TV? Because some people can do that. If you are, take a picture and DM it to me, because I just love seeing this show on somebody's proper TV. Usually when people send it to me, it's when they've caught my face at a really unfortunate moment. It's like, I'm doing this. You know what I mean? But if you are watching on TV, send us a DM. And if you're enjoying the show and want to support it, then any donations that you give will be divided up and given to all the panel. So the links are below. Donate via paypal.me/Alex Leam and kofi.com/Alex Leam. And scan that QR code there. It will take you through to your PayPal app and you'll donate a £5. And it is big enough to work. I have tested it. But just in case you want me to come in a bit closer, there we go. Scan it now. I'll wait. You done it? Good. I'm very optimistic with the donations, even though this is now week 10 and the total donations over those 10 weeks come to £8, which, by my recollection, that's 80 pence a week. And then when you think we divide it up amongst all of the panelists, everyone that's appeared on this show has had 16 pence. So it's better than nothing, isn't it? So we'll bring on tonight's panel. So here, please welcome George Coppen, Suzy Frost, Greg Phillips, and Kitty Messalina. Hello to you all.
Hello.
Excellent. The comments have gone crazy already, and so has the private chat amongst all of us. Yes, I know, Kitty. I still haven't sent you the 16p from last time. My bad.
Me neither.
Roger Poulter is watching. I'm watching you on a 55-inch TV. Less bragging, more snapping. Take a picture and send it to me.
I'm really glad I did actually do my makeup before I came on.
Yeah. Okay. We're slightly worried about HD now. Is that what it is?
Yeah. My camera's not good enough for that.
Is Roger compromising for something?
Oh, that's the first time a member of the panel's asked an awkward question of the audience. Is he compensating? Oz Mills. Does anyone know Oz Mills?
Yes, I've got so many friends on Facebook and YouTube comments coming in already. It's just
excellent. All of Kitty's friends, stitch her up, please.
God. What have I done?
So he's got some questions coming in already. Peter Emus, medium leagues. Well, it's true, isn't it? I've said I've been on BBC Radio Derby.
Radio Derby played an excerpt from one of my gigs once, and they took out all of the politics and all of the swearing, and that meant they had like half of the setup lines for some of my jokes, none of the punchlines, and just cut it together like it was a full thing. And it was like, that wasn't. People have just heard 5 minutes of my like 10-15 minute ramblings and think that's the joke and think that's what they should come and see.
They do
all the politics and all of the swears, and it was all politics and swears apparently.
Yeah, they record a lot of live comedy. Remember that. and play it out. So certainly like the local sort of gigs, and then they seem to edit it together with a chainsaw. Because the amount of people that I've heard just saying what the hell, what, as I'm sure Roger,
the raw material was a good fun gig.
Yeah, as I just as the second I said, I'm sure Roger is typing it out now. He did and has submitted it. BBC Radio broadcast a visual pun of mine. Think about that for a second. Roger did an entirely visual joke that they broadcast. No pressure, an old school friend of mine is...
Didn't he get a better reaction on the radio?
It did actually. Well, we. I was in the car with him when he played it, and we wet ourselves when it happened. Matthew Bart, an old school friend of mine, is saying, "I've paused Mock the Week to see what this is all about." So no pressure. We've got to be better than Mock the Week.
Oh, fuck's sake! I missed the fight.
Okay. All right, nice one. Somebody is also wanting to know, question, how are you going to make this worth £8? Well, Oz, it's 80 pence a show, so we've only got to give 80 pence worth of entertainment.
Hold on. You might give us £8 if you sell it. Come on.
Shit, yeah. Right. Oz, we're amazing. Give us £8.
All those arguments there.
What do you think? Do you think I was a bit on the nose?
I think we should do a show, and then they might decide after that.
Do a show. Great. Well, so audience have got their questions coming in already. That's great. Put some more in, please. More the merrier. We will put some of the best ones out. Or when I say best, it's the ones that I can get to quick enough on the screen. But we'll start with our first question. So this is for everybody, and it is: can you all join me in a song? I will put the lyrics on screen. Are you ready?
What song?
Okay, and the song is "Happy First Year in Comedy to You." Happy First Year in Comedy to You. Happy First Year in Comedy, Suzy Frosty's on the show this week. Happy First Year in Comedy to You.
That was so untuneful.
Brilliant. Not one of us was in time with the other. Amazing. So, Suzy, your first 1 year in comedy today.
Yeah, it was the other day, and I even so like on your memories when it comes up on Facebook. I didn't realise this at the time, but a joke from my set made it into my actual set. Like the Facebook thing that I put made it into my actual set because my husband at the time, soon to be ex-husband, when I decided I wanted to go into comedy, told me that I shouldn't because I'm not funny. So the entire reason I did comedy was purely out of spite.
Excellent reasoning. It's been 1 year. So how much of your comedy career has been in lockdown?
Oh God, how long was? I've not done a lot in lockdown, to be fair, but I must have done about nearly 20 gigs now.
Okay, so yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Peter Evans is saying, hoping the person who's watching this on television hasn't got a big sound system. The sight of all of us singing so badly out of tune, can you imagine that coming through a sound bar?
Oh,
that would really resonate. So a LinkedIn question to do with Suzy's 1 year in comedy, and it's for everybody. Wrong answers only, please.
Oh, cool.
Suzy's first gig was memorable because
someone killed themselves.
Well, hello, sorry, George.
Whoa!
So your made-up story about why Suzy's first gig was memorable because somebody killed themselves. Who was that?
So dark.
The MC.
Really? When did he do that, and how did he do it?
Of course, it was a he then.
When did they do that, and how did they do it?
MCs are usually men. Let's be fair.
Well, it was obviously on the 5th floor of a building, so he just jumped himself out the window.
Oh dear!
Classic.
Tragic.
Yeah.
Tragic. But the good thing is the show went on and nobody noticed. So Kitty, Suzy's first gig was memorable because
she smashed it out of the park and was hilarious, and the audience on the front row wet themselves.
Nice.
I believe that's true.
Yeah, I did say wrong answers only.
I did literally forget that I was on this show and was just watching, and then you asked me the question. And I was like, oh shit, I have to have an answer. Because I've been watching on catch up.
Good. Listen, your dedication to box set binge watching this show is amazing. Greg, Suzy's first gig was memorable because
I reckon her mum's streak.
Plausible, but not true.
Who hasn't told that story?
See, my family don't know I do stand-up because so much of my material is just something I don't want my family to see. It's really weird because I'm like out about a lot of my life, and I'm like, yeah, I'm queer, and yeah, like I'll be out and proud about a lot of stuff, but I'm a closeted comedian. Because otherwise, someone will be like, oh yeah, let's watch your stuff, and I'll be there with my jokes about accidental threesomes and lesbian sheep.
I love it. Yeah, that raises more questions. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, come see me live. You've seen my stuff.
That's just thinking that your priorities with what you talk about openly on stage and what you admit to is similar to you having breakfast about this time of night, which is what you said you were going to do.
I will have breakfast after this.
Okay. We'll go to actually. We can go straight to the source before we move on. Suzy, was there anything memorable apart from you doing stand up to spite your ex-husband?
Are we still doing wrong answers?
No, you can do right answers. We'll get the legit.
Within 24 hours of my first gig, I got a second gig.
Nice.
Hey.
Very nice.
See, smashed it out the park. People were
Kind of doing that on funny.
Very nice. My first ever gig had an unusually high amount of Japanese tourists in the audience because it was in Edinburgh, and none of them knew what I was talking about, but two of them filmed it. So somewhere in Japan is footage of me dying on my arse. Some point. Yeah,
to be fair, Alex, that's not different from a usual crowd not knowing what's happening.
That's true. Yeah. So I say you got 1 year done. I've got 10, and I'm still crap. I've learned nothing. I've learned nothing. I have not progressed at all.
The only reason that I'm Kitty Messalina on stage is because that was a throwaway pseudonym I had on every corner of the internet, and I signed up on a comedy sheet with that. And then Peter Fox was in the audience of my first gig and wrote a review. So therefore, I was officially comedian Kitty Messalina. And I was like, well, I guess that's a stage name now. I'm trying to go and change everything else away from that. And literally from that first gig and that first review, I then got the email of, hi, would you like to be nominated for a new act of the... And I was like, from that one... And that's the only gig I don't have a recording of. Best gig ever. The first one, and everything's gone downhill from there.
Always record it. So some viewer awkward questions coming in. Oz Mills, do you really think that outfit works? So this is all the panel. Personally, I know that I'm mismatched because I'm wearing the top that I've been wearing all day, but I've gone from jeans to...
Oh, hello.
I'm calling it a night comfies now. So although, having said that, just looking at it on screen, it does look like I'm dressed to play golf. so personally, I think on some level this works. George, talk us through your ensemble.
This is the only thing I've got on. Underneath, I'm just naked.
I mean, we're all naked under our clothes, but some of us have more clothes.
No. Like, if I stand up, this is just the end of this, then balls.
Like waist down.
Moving on. Kitty, you're
I love this top because it looks like it's really fancy because it's all cut up and stuff, but it's like a really comfy, stretchy, throw it on t-shirt type top. And then it's like, yeah, I'm dressed up because it's sliced up, but it's a t-shirt I throw on because I was due on TV.
Nice. And
I love Roger's TV.
Yeah, you do on Roger's TV. That got weird really quickly, didn't it? Greg, who are you wearing?
What am I wearing? I've been wearing the same shit for about 3 days, which is basically I'm following your trend. Hang on, let me get some light. I'm following your trend. I'm doing comfy shit.
The comfies.
I'm in the comfy shit. It's 3 days old.
Comfy.
And
That's
probably
nice.
need to change it.
Oh.
See, front room hasn't been redecorated since the 90s. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. I've just been haunted by a Lawrence
Come
Llewellyn
on my
Bone. I
panel
think.
show and let me bully your decor.
Why is Llewellyn Bone dead?
I'm gonna go and slap myself for being really off, really bad.
That was
In fact, you know what? That was bitchy and uncalled for. So I'm gonna yellow card
Yellow
myself.
card. You have been warned.
Right, that'll be funny because if I get a red card, I'm banned for one question. So then, Suzy.
Oh, I'm wearing a Popsy dress and it's got llamas on it.
Oh,
What's not to love?
And I've
perfect
also
for the
got
alpaca lips.
bunny slippers.
That's not my own.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Just to redress the balance a little bit in terms of decor, I do this in my back bedroom, and I've got fitted wardrobes that haven't been changed or redecorated since the 70s. So your front room is better than mine. So say hello to my 70s wardrobes.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Check those out. Check those out. So there we go. So to write that, I'm going to show the fact that I'm in a room.
In there now.
I made an outfit with my background today. Oh, I put my bunting and everything.
Amazing. We've got weirdly quite a lot of questions coming in that's school related. So we'll take this one from Bev, who wants to know, what is your most embarrassing moment in primary school? So Greg, we'll come to you first. Do you have an embarrassing primary school moment?
I once was so committed to hiding during a hide and seek game that I pissed myself.
Wow.
I was that committed to winning hide and seek that I pissed myself.
How long were you there? Like 3 days?
So, something like that, I think. I mean, I'm a really good hider.
Where were you hiding?
I can't remember. Somewhere in the... I don't know. I think I found a store cupboard and just tucked myself away behind a broom. But yeah.
Wow.
Because
you're so dehydrated, you could fit behind a broom at that point.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Wow. I think that really bests my story, which is just the one time I called the head teacher mum.
Oh,
We've all.
there
was always one.
Oh, you took my.
Yeah. That went. Of course, that would have to have been in a full school assembly as well, wouldn't it? So yeah, it took a good 15 years to live that one down. Kitty, any embarrassing primary school moments?
I have a few to choose from. Gosh, everything's
Popcorn.
trauma flashing back. So I'm particularly remembering a couple of things. A school trip that we finally got to do in year 6 to the Isle of Wight. We went to this place, I don't know if it's still there, called Fort Boldnor, where it had this I swear to my 11-year-old self, there's a proper army training type assault course they sent us on. And there was this rope swing thing that someone threw for you to catch, and it was raining and it was cold, and then I grabbed onto it, didn't grab it properly, and fell forwards into the pit of clay that was underneath it, and was drowning in clay and in shock, and just stood up kind of covered in this stuff, just crying, and everyone, you fell off it, you couldn't do the rope swing, and I was just
oh dear.
That's one. I'm also aware that when I was briefly training to be a teacher, and before I could do my secondary training, I had to go and do primary school experience, and on my first day of primary school teacher training experience, the headmistress called me into her office because the outfit that I had chosen to be really professional, etc., had about that much, a centimeter of cleavage on show. And she was there I cried in her office as she was let me get you a safety pin in case these 6-year-olds are titillated by a centimeter of cleavage on a little dress that was a really nice I'd chosen for primary school. So I cried on my first day from the headmaster's office when I was an adult. That's primary school.
I'm guessing you weren't teaching sex ed.
I was PAing. And the last one would be the first day of year 3 when I was in a new school. And I'd moved from quite a posh, like I went to school in Chelsea until the age of 7. I was educated in Chelsea, oh yes, rather. And then I moved out to South East London, to Bromley. And we were playing hide and seek, and I was behind one of those like temporary hut school classroom things. And I was hiding, and some kid comes over like, you're not allowed round there. And I went, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And this kid just looked at me like, what planet are you from? So my little classist 7-year-old brain went, oh, I've heard of places like this. I know how to respond here. So I then turned around and went, what? And they like ran away, and I was able to continue hiding, and I won. And that was the day I dropped my T's, said like every other word, and went a bit more southeast London than my educated in Chelsea. That was the day I lost my posh accent. That was the day I became common.
But did you wee yourself?
No, I just
No.
won with illegal hiding and like trying to pose as being tough. What?
That's what I took a step back when you did that now. So no, you must have scared the crap out of them. Yeah.
Catch me in Croydon, bruv. Anyway,
So, Suzy, beat what we've got? Can you beat that at all?
I genuinely had quite a good primary school experience. I don't think I was quite well liked. But the only thing that rings bell was actually secondary school, where I did a full-on pratfall while, when you have to do a scissor kick when you're doing the high jump. And there was a sort of mat thing, and I put one of my feet on there, kicked off with the other one, so all my weight went onto the other feet, and I just did a full-on pratfall onto my arse, in front of the entire school.
And that's the most embarrassing. Oh man.
That's the most embarrassing.
I would love to have had your secondary school experience, because primary school was much less embarrassing. But let's move on.
I managed to make an operation that I had when I was 11. I managed to make that as an excuse for me to get out of doing PE for the rest of secondary school. So until I was 16, she's like, "No, mate, stitches, can't." No. And they never checked, and I got away with it as well. Obviously, I didn't pick that as one of your specialist subjects in year 10, because that would have been ridiculous. But no, I just had a 50-minute skive once a week. It was brilliant, and they never questioned it. I could have done it by the time I'd reached 14. I was fine by that point. But I just went, I just want to see how long I can strengthen. It's helpful. Yeah. So hope you're taking notes, Matthew Bott, my former secondary school homie. Yeah. So let's move on to
George's story.
Can I tell my story, God?
Sorry.
Tell us about school, George.
That's it. Missed out the dwarf. I get it.
I'm this close to a red card.
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, I kind of got two. One is mainly me, and one's another bloke. So mine was similar to yours, Alex, when in year 6 in a big class, and it was one of those split classes of 5 and 6, year 5 and year 6, and all silent. And instead of saying, "Miss, can I have some help, please?" I shouted out, "Mum, can I have some help, please?" And the whole school went and did piss themselves. I went,
"Oh dear."
And I went, "Miss." Yeah. But then
Oh dear.
yeah, there was another time in year 4 where we were learning about magnets. We still had those big computers, those massive ones. And I was just looking around the class, and one of my friends picked up this magnet and put it on the computer screen. And the computer screen kind of went zip, zip, ping, and it would not turn on for a good 2 weeks or so.
Oh,
it was like, oh
dear.
shit. Yeah. And then the teacher wasn't too happy at the kid that did that. Magnets.
Thing is, it's such a sort of barometer of how old somebody actually is when you talk to them about the computers that you had at school. Because just fill in the blanks here and see if you can guess how old I am. By the time I left secondary school at 16 was when my secondary school got the internet.
Oh my god!
Oh wow!
What?
And in primary school, the computers I had then were BBC computers.
What kind of school did you go to, though? Because was this one of the schools where they just didn't have anything, or was it
pretty much? I mean, they were underfunded then, so fuck knows what they're like now.
Right. Alex, was that in Derby?
Yeah.
That could have been any year then.
Yeah,
John. 2001.
That's
2010.
1999 was when that happened.
Holy shit!
They decided then it'd be a good idea to get the internet as well. They were still, that wouldn't really work on the computers. They were still running Windows BC. Give me an idea how old they were.
Before Common Era.
Yeah.
Like before Christ. Like.
Absolutely. Time for our next question.
Did you say you left in 1999?
Yes, I did.
I was born 3 years before you left school.
Yeah, I think I started school in either 99 or 2000. I don't know. Like, reception.
Okay.
I think 99 I started reception.
Let's gloss over the fact that we've just found out that I'm 14 3 years. On to our next question. Which was suggested by Roger. And it is, it's time to play the game that has been sweeping the nation. What's in Dom's box? So, as you all probably been aware, this week, Dominic Cummings, Boris Johnson's
Dominic Goings now.
Dominic Goings, Boris Johnson's former right-hand man,
Not mine.
got sacked, not because he broke lockdown, but because he dissed his girlfriend. Pretty much, yeah. There was some sort of like uber political plot against Carrie Simons, who is now Boris Johnson's fiance, and that's the reason why he got sacked, not because he
Boris's girlfriend. I thought you meant Dominic's girlfriend.
Yeah, I thought you meant Dominic's girlfriend.
No. So we need your suggestions, please. What do you think was in Dom's box when he left Downing Street?
Was it your career, Alex?
It was empty.
Nah, you'd need a much smaller box.
I'd like to think that it was empty and he'd just gone for the drama of like, well, I can't leave without a box. It's because everyone needs to know that I'm like leaving. It's one of those things where you like, swish your cape, crash the door, go for brunch, take a box.
I like to think that he started off like that by thinking, well, I'm not leaving on the front door without a box. I want it to look like a film. And then he'd probably then be stomping around 10 Downing Street like, right, I'm having this. Churchill's, right? Yeah, I'm taking this as well. Maggie's bust. I'm having that. Right, that's going in. Right,
my mug.
So then he'd be, and then he'd probably, then he'd like go into the kitchen and take Tony Blair's favourite mug.
Blair, what year is it, Alex?
Well, all the crap that they had will still be there. I don't think that. I mean, Tony would have a favourite mug.
He was made Prime Minister like a couple of days after my 3rd birthday. Like, this is
fucking hell.
Decades. Just making Alex feel old again.
Tony Blair's husband says #1 war criminal on it.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, Alistair Campbell got him from Moonpig for a laugh.
Do you think in that box he's got that 350 million pounds a week for the NHS?
Yeah, it's just taking 1 week's worth. That's all.
Just
it'll be fine next week.
He's found the source of it, and it's all written down in the files and in various computer codes and all the rest. And he's like, "Well, we were going to make good on that bus promise, but now it's going in the box."
I've got it. Is it the front part of his hair?
True. That's true. That's true. I think that Dom is a paranoid man. No, he isn't, is he? I think he's a very paranoid man. I think he doesn't put anything online, and I think he still uses floppy disks. So I think that's just full of floppy disks of all the shit that he's got on members of the cabinet.
If you're not going online, surely, I keep hearing these things of like magazines and bushes and things. Is that not like hard copies?
Thankfully, that was before my time. So that is old sort of porn in bushes. I never experienced that.
Oh, you had all them floppy disks.
No, I went into the newsagents and bought it like a horny 15-year-old that I was. That takes courage.
Still a hard copy then. So you do hail from the era of hard copy magazines, even if you never found one in a bush.
Yeah, but I didn't go for a bush. I faced it head on, and that one copy lasted me 3 years.
That's an image of it now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Moving on. Greg, Suzy, your thoughts. What's in Dom's box?
Well, he's looking a bit ropey, so I feel like it's like a hocus pocus situation where he's collected all the souls of the children who died of starvation. He's going to build himself like a doomsday machine or something.
Wow.
Is it his own spine?
He checked that in on day one, and he's bringing it back out now. Nice. Greg.
He looks a bit to me like a man who's been told that he's no longer getting regular sex. So I think there's his bondage kit, his sex swing, his whips,
his orange.
His orange. There's all sorts of stuff going on in there. I think he was the sub and Boris was the dom, and now he's just look at it.
Oh, I'm sorry. No one has ever looked at Boris Johnson and thought that man is a dom.
As opposed to Dominic Cummings, yeah.
that would be irony. He's called Dom, but he isn't the Dom.
Yeah,
no,
you go, see.
Thinks of himself as
clever joke.
He's clearly a lazy Tory who someone else has to do all the work, but he's clearly the person like, go on then, please me. Like, that's really, obviously. And Boris is there like, oh yes, I'm going to do all the things. Like, that's...
Peter Emus says, there's another yellow card. Who for, Peter?
Who 7 minutes ago, Alex. Like
7 minutes ago.
Why did we say 7 minutes ago?
Clarify who needs because the comments are going mad. Mainly because Oz Mills has written at least last count about 300 questions in the comments to go on. So tonight's show is going to last 4 hours.
Hey. That means that we get more than 80p or 16p.
That means your hourly rate goes down, unfortunately. That won't be too good. Right, to our next question. This is inspired by a post that Kitty put up earlier on today.
Oh God, is it?
Yeah, following you saying that having you had an idea for a kinky version of Taskmaster.
In fairness, it wasn't my idea; it was my friend's idea, and she couldn't believe that I hadn't pitched it. Because I am known for having a thing for Greg Davies.
My question is, let's workshop this. What would you like to see in Kitty's idea for a kinky version of Taskmaster? Kitty, we'll come to you first because this is where
gosh. So I did post a bunch of tasks in the comments, but I'm gonna freewheel this. So I had one where it was like you have to choose a dildo, and once you've touched one, you're not allowed to touch anymore, and then pick it up and throw it at a target, except you've also got your hands in handcuffs and you can't cross the rope and you can't move the target, and all of that, and having like a team as provided, make some kind of outfit for your teammate to like catwalk and like the best presentation and best outfit. I can't even remember, like bring in your most threatening toy. Like the most intimidating, like what would make someone
I really feel like I would just get a massive dildo and put really angry eyebrows and googly eyes on it.
But that would be brilliant. Yeah. Like I wouldn't want to be a contestant though. I would want to be Alex Horn. I just need to sit next to Greg Davies and have him like just
you still have Greg.
Yeah, like he's still the task daddy, and he's there like he's the task daddy, and he's still there like what are you doing? And I get to have the banter with him of like love me, and then and that's how this goes.
Me and my friend have a running joke that the only reason I got into comedy was to eventually be on Taskmaster, and she's 100% right.
I did the order, the Wish order version of Taskmaster earlier this week for the Nottingham Comedy Festival, NCF, and I think that goes down like later tonight if you want the last chance to catch it. It's up on the Miss Improv Comedy page and possibly the Nottingham Comedy Festival page. You can catch the last iteration of Lark Lord, where I was a panelist, but that wasn't the same because it didn't have Greg, and
not the same.
You know, he has such energy, you know, like he's a powerful man. If he told you to do anything, you would just do it and you would thank him for it.
I believe the turn of phrase used on one of the comments was big dick energy.
Yes. Yeah. But it's not necessarily the physical dick, it's the aura, it's the presence.
Like you can have with me, and I'm never going to be able to look at him in the same way again.
You can have PDE and it's just a presence of like
dick.
Yeah. And he's like 2.5 meters tall or something. Like,
I think if I was pitching for Kinky Taskmaster, one of the tasks would be be a primary school teaching assistant, but in a bondage suit. Just taking what you were saying earlier, just take it to the next level, and then just say, yeah, I'm just really into scuba diving. So anyway, the owl and the pussycat. So,
Oh no.
I think
It's the fat dick spirit, you know. It's the big dick energy. It's the metaphorical dick within that is whoosh.
you could
great
just have,
sound
like,
effect as well. That people at home. Siobhan Cooper as put. I think this is a suggestion for Kinky Taskmaster. I'm not too up on the
I
terminology.
think that's for the bringing in an intimidating toy. But like general Eastern stuff's not intimidating unless you bring in like a violet wand. Then you can bring in a violet wand and be like, "Buzz, isn't it Victorian? Do you have hysteria?" Not that I know about these things. I was trying to have one clean video so that I could send it to people who I like hadn't been able to send I was waiting to get to a point where I could be like, hey, let me like show someone who is like, you know, family friend or whatever, like, hey, I do comedy, but no, I'm straight away here like violet ones. Let me talk about Greg Davies' cock.
A lot of what you're just talking about sounds like discarded material from Harry Potter novel. Violent ones, hysteria.
When did Greg Davies' dick come into it? Into Harry Potter?
Thanks, Peter. It's it took me by surprise, that one. Yeah. So anyway, more thoughts on Kinky Taskmaster. Yeah. No, although watching you squirming slightly is kind of funny. George, Kinky Taskmaster.
I don't know. Probably ride the longest on one of those people dressed as dogs. I don't know what you call them. Try and ride down the street on one of them.
But like, how do you get points? How do you win? Is it like the fastest? Is it just like a furry race? Like,
if I'm honest, Kitty, I've not really given as much thought as you clearly have.
An obstacle course would be amazing, and you could be like, you know, try and go around all of the like bits of furniture and like, you know, jump the spanking bench. Oh, it'd be beautiful. I want to host this party.
Or maybe like a dildo.
Sorry,
it's okay.
Yeah,
dildo Star Wars fight.
We'll see how many members of the public you can convince.
Lots of like go through the alphabet and like do a category or there's lots of fun to be had with just the theme just has to be slightly naughtier version. It's the Taskmaster.
I would say if Edinburgh is on next year, do it then. Take it up. Do it. Don't wait for Greg.
I feel like I might get sued.
Hey, if I
think you've given this too much thought.
If the makers of Whose Line Is It Anyway haven't sued me yet, you'll be fine.
Yeah, but YouTube's different from going to Edinburgh, where there are actual like people doing things. Like he might be doing Edinburgh, and then it would be like, oh, he's doing his like solo show, and round the corner there's a rip-off of Alex Horn's format, and it's like.
But there's a high chance he'll be in the audience. Great.
Could be a contestant.
Yeah. Any more thoughts? Any more thoughts on Kinky Taskmaster?
I feel like you could have like a series of like gradually getting bigger dildos and then have a sex swing and then you have to select a dildo and put it at a distance and the farthest distance and the widest dildo and then you've got to swing yourself and then so that you land and insert.
You land on it? Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is not going on television. This is now.
The furthest distance and the biggest dildo wins.
Okay.
I wasn't even thinking full-on play. I was just thinking as a theme of like, this is the naughtier version where there's a little bit more leather and corsetry.
Let's see. We're on to our next game, which we're going to call Coming Dry.
Look where you started, Alex.
I wanted to have one clean video of someone. And I could be like, hey, I do comedy now.
It's one a clean video, don't invite me on.
I wasn't
but it's me.
Lyrical about.
It's like you don't know me. Of course, I'm going to take this and run to and do like a good. Oh bloody hell! Most of the show's gone on this question already. Wow, Greg, quickly, let's wrap this up.
I'd just like to see just them open a task and just see like, here's some cling film and some duct tape. Do your worst. I think that'd be brilliant.
Oh God.
Freewheeling. Good.
Do your worst.
Peter Emos loves the fact this comment was still below as Alex's face gets more and more gobsmacked. I'm not having it up, Peter. All of my reactions have been genuine tonight. So let's see if we can get a look at the comments. If we're talking about outmoded tech, Roger has said, when I was at university, I was using DOS. So that's that, I would imagine, is when computers were black screened with green text on it.
Like the Matrix.
Yes. Roger, you're from the Matrix. Fantastic.
Like Keanu Reeves and let himself go.
I love the fact that he can't come back at you as quickly as he'd like to do because he's got to type this out as well.
Furiously mashing at his keyboard.
Does anyone know, is that Syra Price? I'll say Syra. Have you ever shit the bed? I think this is an easily answered question.
Yeah.
Yeah, really?
As an adult.
I had swine flu after it was popular, so like literally a couple of years ago. And I was woken up by my soon-to-be ex-husband, like just freaking out about something, and I literally sit up, and the panic and force of me sitting up literally made me shit up. Shitting up. I shit the bed. It was awful.
So
Wow.
I do live action roleplay because I'm a nerd, and there was one event when I was like camping in a field, and I'd basically been living on nothing but other people's like homebrewed alcohols and like lack of sleep. And I didn't quite shit the bed, but I did have a moment where I slightly misjudged a fart. And it would have been fine. It would have been fine because it was actually getting changed at that moment and nothing had actually really soiled anything. But it was at that moment that my tent buddy started unzipping the tent to come in, and it was just like, oh, this would have been very easily sorted with the baby wipes that are here for all the face paint, but now it's like, oh, can you come back? And it's like, I've seen you naked before, and it's like, it's not that, honey.
Oh dear.
Wasn't quite shitting the bed, but it's the closest I've come as an adult, and that was just too much rum and mead and cider.
So essentially, for a weekend, you had a diet that most people have when they're in prison. So like home-brewed alcohol.
It wasn't like brewed in a loo. It was like hooch. It's like people's lovely home brews. I'm homebrewing mead right now because I'm a hipster lover.
Nice. Ian Bowden has answered. He's put, not a bed, but I followed through in a fart in an American rental car. I'm guessing you were in. I'm guessing you're in America and you didn't just drive well out of the way. Tell us more, Ian. Tell us more. Was it on one of your country music vacations? Because wow, in more than one ways, some action down south.
Can I say, Kitty? You said when you shit yourself, you hadn't eaten. And you told us before the show you haven't eaten all day. So should we be expecting to see yourself live on show?
If you have to detach your headphones and leg it, it's fine. It's fine. Actually, it doesn't matter if you do it.
It just started to, and I was like, oh, well, let me just clear that up. And it would have been fine if it wasn't for the fact that it was like, oh, now I have company.
Please vacate the tent. I have sharted.
The closest I've come. And I'm sharing this live.
I love the fact you had such good intentions before you did this show.
I was like, I'm going to have a wholesome episode where I can bring it on and be like, yeah, here's a thing where I'm not talking about like shagging Tories on stage. Like, too much routine.
Ian Bowden has gotten back to say, no, my big drive across the States, I ate at a Denny's and it went right through me.
There was another time in Thailand.
Okay. Buckle up, everyone.
So we went to this Thai street market and the food was like unbelievably cheap, and we're there like, that's actually a really nice looking, really nice smelling, like wholesome, freshly cooked Thai curry stuff, and you're doing the translations of like the baht and you're like, how is that like £1 for like a full meal? Like this is, and you're there like, we've got to tip a lot and all the rest. Anyway, all the street market food, having a bunch of time, not having the scorpions, but like, and it was fine until like I desperately needed to go, and it was like, okay, like run for it moment. And I kind of just about made it, except I got to the loos. The ladies was closed, the disables was closed. I had to go to the gents, and they had no loo roll. And it was just there like, I've made it, but at what cost? I don't know why. And having to be like, I was trying to text the partner I was with, like, can you come to the gents and like, can you source some tissues? Because I've made it but without any loo roll and like in the gents, not speaking the language.
Okay. All right. Any more soiling yourself stories, or have we?
Not entirely, but I can second Ian's comment there about Denny's. I've been to America and I've eaten at Denny's, and yeah, like a Porsche, like straight through.
Is it? Is it all the grease?
Yeah, it's not
goes through. No.
Wendy's is better, but it's a little bit slower releasing.
Is it? Good to know. Well, I hope you've been.
Top tip for you there.
Should we have some more questions?
I was going to say this is starting to feel like the worst ever episode of Wish You Were Here. It's a sort of really weird travel show. Our next question is a show and tell question. So, can you find the nearest object to you that can have a second use as a fetish toy?
Yes.
Find it, bring it back, and explain what you would do with it. So you have 30 seconds. Everyone clear on what to do?
Yeah, I've got it.
You have
yeah.
Timer still though. You have 30 seconds starting from now. And we're back, and I love the fact that everyone was dancing to the countdown clock. It's amazing. So has everyone got something?
Yeah.
Good, excellent, good. George, you're holding yours aloft already, so we'll come to you first. What have you got, and how can it be repurposed as a fetish toy?
Well, I've got this thing, so like you put pencils in and you could probably shove that up someone's arse, I'm guessing. Either way. Or a really big condom.
Your ass! What?
It's like a clown's pocket.
Yeah. Tablets that you can overdose if you're into necrophilia, you know. Yeah, kill your partner and then yeah. And just glue and
He's got an
multiple purposes
got an
for that.
entire night planned.
Nice, very nice. Who'd like to go next?
I don't mind.
Who's Suzy? What have
I
you got?
feel like mine's quite self-explanatory.
Oh, all right, go on. Wow! So it's a plush penis pillow.
He's called Pierre.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but because he has a French name, it sort of makes it adorable. I don't know why. Just quite a lot of.
He's quite nice to hump as well. He's a really soft material.
Is it? Fantastic. Let's say if anyone is watching this on a TV tonight and you haven't yet sent me the photos, the amount of great pause faces that we've all been doing, if it's not me going, then the one Kitty just pulled at the sight of Pierre penis was also worth pressing pause for.
Part of the
I also want
podcast,
this
Pierre
as
the
my-
penis.
Pierre,
I
oh
want
yes,
this as
Pierre.
my new like profile picture. Yeah.
Nice. Pierre the penis.
I did have a second option, but then I remembered Pierre, so my other one's my Millennium Falcon.
Please explain.
If you, that's like a double intruder at one end. It's
Isn't it?
nice.
One in the pink
Yeah.
and one in the stink.
Way.
Is that for when you go solo?
It's got shot.
Hey!
Oh,
Oh,
George, very nice, very nice. Lovely, love it. I'll go next. Mine has an extending handle. There we go. Yeah, no, it's actually a paint roller. which I've bought to do some DIY during lockdown too. And you can tell how well that's gone by the dust that's collected. I did a preemptive. I think, I want to be so productive during lockdown too. I've done fuck all. So it might as well be repurposed as some sort of.
Here's a sentence I never thought I'd say. Is that so you can bum and paint them at the same time?
No, I was going to use that for the swing that I've attached in my back bedroom, so I can do my own kinky taskmaster. Greg, what have you got?
And it's extendable. You can reach further people away. Is it 2 meters long? Can you do social distance?
Oh, that's a point. I do.
Can you whack someone with it from 2 meters away?
I'll measure it. While Greg answers, I'll measure it.
And can you roll it on some titties? Sorry, you go.
Whenever you're finished.
I would do that at a gig, but I'd end up on another list. Greg.
I don't know how. In fact, I think this is going to be quite versatile. But to be honest, I'm using my phone, so I don't know how I'm going to get this in. I'm going to have to rescue somewhere.
You don't have to insert it.
I don't know if you can. Where am I? I can't. That's my cat's scratch post right there. But it's quite. It's quite a large thing. But there's rope, and it's quite. I mean, it could be inserted. I could hit you with it.
Are you including the cat?
Kitty has claws.
Who can like insert all these massive things? Like,
I mean,
that looks like it's bigger than an arm. You just very casually went.
Whoa! What happened there? Do you know what I think happened?
I could insert that and went to go and check.
It was the cat.
We've given him ideas. Let's take a long time before we let him back in so he properly panics. So let's now that that's really configured us all on screen, I'll just get rid of the banner so you can see us all properly. There we go. So Kitty, what have you got?
Well, I was with lark swords, and as well as obviously being pretty decent impact toys, which is why you need to pull your blows. But there are very few LARPers who you will meet who aren't perverts. Like, I know hundreds of them, and they're all at least a little bit. Like, we're all getting, like, role play, dressing up, hitting our friends with stuff, latex on the weapons, rope on your tents. I just feel like it all goes together, and it's like, oh yeah, you're a LARPer, and I instantly just assume like you're a pervert. Like, yeah, you like dressing up and pretending to be someone else and hitting your friends for a weekend. Me too. Oh, like how we do.
Nice.
Apologies, by the way. I went to.
Well, what happened? We all guessed that you wanted to go and try scratch post out.
Yeah.
Well, I can confirm now, tried and tested.
Did you have a really deep itch?
Is that why you can't sit down?
It just about be inserted because it's got some tapered stuff on it, but then it would damage the foam. So,
on the comments, Ian Bowden has named your kinky Millennium Falcon.
Hey.
Peter Emus says feels like he needs a curly moustache if he's called Pierre.
And a beret.
And a beret. Oh, a beret. Yeah. No, if it's a beret, that means he's going in equipped.
Don't forget the cross on.
No stabbing with the LARP weapon, Kitty. Nice. Yeah, Peter's all over that. So, whilst we, I'm going to have a look through the many hundreds of questions that Oz Mills has submitted, see if we can get at least one more of those in. But before we finish, so our next question is going to be an individual question for each of you, but it's not going to be, the question isn't going to be awkward. The way in which you answer it is going to be awkward. So it's going to be literally awkward for you to answer. So I will give an explanation when I come to you and tell you what you then have to do. So George, you're first. So you have to answer this question whilst hopping. And the question is, George, what would you like for Christmas this year?
Well, I think my main present I want is a jacuzzi because, it's hot and it's winter and I just want to warm up and I struggle with my legs and my back. So this is going to fucking help, isn't it? So yeah, just
Excellent.
a basic jacuzzi, yeah. Or indoor fireworks.
Have you been a good boy this year?
Never.
Okay. And I love the fact you went back to hopping to answer that as well. Nice one, George. Well done. Well done.
Oh,
Very
Jesus.
nice.
Shit, I can't reach
Very
that.
nice. Kitty, you're next. So for this question, you have to put whatever is nearest to you in your mouth and leave it there while you answer this question. And your question is, do you think Joe Biden will do 2 terms?
No, I'm not even sure he'll be alive, but I don't think he'll run. And I wonder whether they will go further left or further into the right-wing liberal, more right-wing thing for next year. It'd be really interesting to see who they put up as a candidate. But no, he is going to do up to 1 term.
Nice. Very
if
nice.
He lives. He's old.
Anyone else think that she's really good at still articulating words with something in a...
I deliberately didn't even put something lengthways in. I deliberately went for something widthways, so you couldn't make such commentary.
That was very nicely done.
I was well behaved.
That's beautiful.
Very, very nicely done. Suzy, you're next. And you've put the curly moustache on Pierre as well. Did you just draw that in?
Yeah, I found a Sharpie.
Oh, that's amazing. And he's right. It does suit him, actually. It actually makes him look... He looks happier having a curly moustache on there. Oh, fantastic. Right, so Suzy, you can't speak to answer this question, but you can mime. Do you think lockdown will end in early December as planned? Really? Okay. Oh, well, thank you very much for that, Suzy's answer. I think we could all agree with what she's just said.
I need it for you.
When are we of your first gig?
Like 2 days later.
Excellent. Greg, I can see he's perched his phone somewhere, so we can really give it some with this one, which is good. Well, Greg, you'll be pleased to know that yours isn't that physically demanding. Okay. So all you've got to do, Greg, is answer this question turning completely the other way from the camera. And your question is, how has the pandemic affected you?
I mean, what it's really done is just give me a completely different outlook on life, because I've never seen this corner of my living room before. So it's made me turn around literally and see my door over there. I've never paid attention to that side of my living room before. I'm going to wander over there now and pay attention to it. But no, I haven't really changed that much because I've had to work through the entire thing. But turning round, I'm seeing my living room and my dining room in a completely different light. Literally. Which has actually been quite nice. That was shit. I do apologise.
Where's he gone now?
This has backfired slightly.
Fucked off! I can't see on my phone. You bastards! I love that.
That went slightly differently than planned. I like the fact that you came in and looked straight at us and still kept talking.
Yeah, I mean, so I was like, I'm not hearing laughing, so I best keep going.
No, we were tittering with our mouths closed because we didn't want to give the game away, but you didn't twig that we were there.
No, you're gullible as fuck.
Well, I don't know everyone else, but I enjoyed that. That was good. So let's have a look at some of the comments that are going after that. Peter is over the moon with the moustache on Pierre. Alex Mitchell has said, "I would die for Pierre." That's beautiful. That is beautiful. So I'll just have a quick flick through and get one of Oz Mills's questions to round that off with, because he did write more than I've ever written in any of the essays I was asked to do at uni. So it seems a bit of a shame to waste them. We'll go with this one.
In future episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. This one, which is, what is the worst smell
You've had that in a
enjoy?
previous episode. You've had
Did
that
we?
one. I've been watching Catch Up, and John
That's
Morris
a point.
started talking about stop smelling.
You've that's the point. You have binged recently, and my memory is there's goldfish.
You've literally had that question on this show.
Oh damn! I had a great answer for that one.
What would it have been then, George? What would it
My
have been?
farts. My own farts.
I think that came up last time. Now,
That did come up last
not
time,
literally your
someone.
fart. But, yeah. All right, we'll go with this one then, Oz. What's the biggest lie on your CV?
I like people.
I declined to answer on the grounds that it may incriminate me.
Fair enough. That must be an absolute doozy then, if you're saying that it's going to incriminate you.
Tell you after the show.
Excellent. Okay, this is great. Well, sometimes our post-show chats that we have on here are libelous. So, Suzy, have you ever lied on your CV?
Yeah, I said I like people, and I fucking don't. What a bunch of bastards.
Absolutely.
For clarification, mine's not technically a lie, but the wording of it is very much stretching. It's fine. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. All right. I'll allude to this in the podcast. Greg, have you ever lied on your CV?
I think CVs are an art, aren't they? So you've got to be truthful, but make it sound good. So once I actually said, one of my previous jobs was I was a visual impairment specialist. And he said, "What's that?" I went, "Well, I was a window cleaner."
Nice. Nice.
Yeah,
Very
it's that
nice.
level of stuff, but with it's fine.
On a similar sort of embellishing stuff you did do, I did once put that I was a legal secretary. When in reality, all I did was fill envelopes that had court papers when I worked for Amigo Loans. That's all I did. I was just an envelope stuffer. Just goes right. You're going to court, you lazy bastard. Didn't pay your loan. Next, and that was it. I was just a pen pusher. But no,
Did you ever see one for yourself?
No,
I can imagine.
But there was a glitch right on one of the systems, and somebody's loan got completely wiped off. But the last person that was seen in that case was me. So I got suspended for a weekend pending a fraud investigation because they thought, well, clearly you were the last one to have access to this case, so I put it to you, sir. That I was like, mate, I don't give a fuck. Full stop about this place. Why would I want to go in and wipe somebody's loan out who hasn't paid in 5 years? Why would I do that? I mean, really.
Alex, I do appreciate that, by the way, mate. I will pay you back on that.
Actually, the founder and CEO of Amigo Loans, I'm still friends with on Facebook, so it's highly likely that he's watching this.
You might be watching.
He was once on an episode of Secret Millionaire just before I started working there. So yeah, which is interesting. So hi, James Benamor.
Is he a millionaire? And is he available?
Yes. Actually, having read his entry in the Sunday Times Rich List, he's a gnat's whisker away from being a billionaire now. So,
but is he an eligible bachelor? And if he's not,
why not?
Okay. Like there's millions, you say.
Oh,
Hey,
yes.
put another slit in that t-shirt just in case.
Matching it up, like, hello, have I mentioned that I like eating food and holidays?
Hey, I'll look it with Kitty. She likes cheesecake. Right. So, anyone else lied on their CV?
I said I was tall.
Did it get you the job?
Required this.
It's that one year he went. It's that one year he went for the part of Snow White instead.
And I got it.
You can put it in the section, and it's like personal info about you, and then you go into the interview, and then just see if they bring it up.
No, but I did actually at an interview once for a job. I did have someone ask me, "How long have you had your dwarfism?"
Tuesday, mate.
I'm like,
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like,
like once you were 5'10", then you caught dwarfism, and now you're 4'11".
It's contagious.
Fucking
That's what
hell.
COVID
There is a
is.
millionaire watching. I will bend over backwards or forwards or whichever which way to.
Excellent. Well, on that note, I think that is a good point to end on. If any millionaires are watching, I will also bend any which way you want me to, which is a good plug for the news show that I have on a Monday nights, which is called the £1 Million Race, which is me, Graham Whistler, and our new racer, Jenny Hart. We're in a race to see which person out of the three of us who are no good with money can make it to £1 million. So that's Monday night, 7 p.m. on the channels that you are watching on now.
Just appeared.
Nice. As we before we go, have any of you guys got anything to plug, even if it is just your socials?
Hit me up on Facebook, Kitty Messalina. I might not post anything for 25 days because I'm in Facebook jail.
Okay. Ian asks to add this about James Benamor. If his interest approach is like his loans, you have to give him plenty of interest.
I can do that.
Okay, you can do that. You can do that. Nice.
Hey, big spender.
He also adds that sexual orientation is horizontal. Nice one, Ian.
Boring.
Nice one. So boring.
Was that for the TV?
Probably on Ian's. Probably on Ian's. Peter has said that his greatest lie that he's told is, "I really want this job." We've all told that one. We've all told that one. We haven't just said it because we've got rent to pay and we want to go out on Saturday night.
About good customer service.
Who is? George,
I'm really
have you got anything
about
to
Snow White.
plug? George, anything to plug?
Well, you can catch me. Well, not literally because I am on the run, but hey, different point. Mm-hmm. But you can find me on Facebook at George Coppen, actor and comedian, where I post all my gigs, including one I did after lockdown 1, which I posted this evening. So definitely check it out. And Instagram, Coppen1412.
Nice. Very nice indeed. Greg, anything to plug?
Stuart Dunlop's alternative Cobra meeting, the Feet and Ball show. I was a guest on that last week. That was really good fun. Just myself really. If anybody wants to hit me up on Facebook and see any videos of my gigs, feel free.
Nice.
More than happy to talk to anybody.
I have upcoming things. I am doing Laugh Able on the 27th of November. And I believe that's a private Zoom you can dial into, and it's not constantly out there. So you have to get your tickets and then you can laugh along. And I'm sorry if I've forgotten your gig or your show, people. There's a few things coming up where I've said I'll do it and I can't find it. Check my Facebook. Oh, I can't post on Facebook. Check things I'm tagged in on Facebook.
Check Kitty's MySpace. That's the way.
Alex,
find our friends reunited.
Okay. Suzy, anything to announce? Please tell me Pierre's got his own Twitter.
He will be shortly. Definitely.
Good.
I'm going to knit him a beret. That's going to work. I've got a yes, and a croissant. I've got a gig on the 12th of November at oh God, I forgot the name of it. One in Sheffield. Just go and find it. It's the Toolmakers. Toolmakers, that's one. Yeah. Toolmakers in Sheffield.
I'm on there on the 3rd.
Yay!
I've got a panel show called Blizzard Comedy on the 30th of November.
Excellent. My Facebook is Suzy Frost Does Comedy. I post on there occasionally. And then my Twitter and Instagram is Matty Pot Lady, all one word.
Excellent.
And it's one full year.
And one full year in comedy.
First year in comedy for us. Excellent. So thank you to everyone that has watched tonight. It has been delightfully random as always. And thank you to my panelists, Suzy, first year in comedy, Frost, Greg Phillips, Kitty Messalina, and George Coppen. Thank you to everyone. We'll be back next Sunday night at 8:30. Until then, stay awkward.